The Book of the Dead, Chapter 4.
The molecular region. The legend of Zoroaster says all those whose good works outweigh their sins go to heaven, those whose sins are greater go to hell, he who is the two equal remains in Ramysteichen until the future body or resurrection. The molecular region of the region of paradise. Those beings who suffered greatly in life, and who were relatively good become submerged in the happiness of the molecular world, before taking a new physical body. The molecular regions are saturated in happiness. The human essences enjoy these ineffable regions in the absence of their pluralized egos. The egos of the essences remain meanwhile in the doorway of mystery, awaiting the new reincarnation. In the absence of the ego, the essences develop happily in paradise. These beings use the molecular body. Those who possess the astral Christ shine with glory, and are even happier in paradise. This happiness lies only in the sexual seed, in a germinal state. But it germinates, and is born, when the initiate knows the mysteries of sex. The astral Christ is a marvelous body. People who possess this body are truly immortal, since they never lose their consciousness. As paradise is molecular, it enters and penetrates all Earth's atmosphere, and is especially related to the ionosphere, which is found 60 miles above the Earth's surface. This region is especially pure. Even when the astronauts travel through this area, they can never discover paradise with their physical senses. We can only see paradise with the spatial sense. The Gnostic movement teaches various scientific techniques for opening the spatial sense. The molecular region has various ineffable countries. These are the planes and subplane that the Theosophist and Rosicrucian speak of. In these regions of limitless happiness, the disincarnate live happily until their time runs out. Dawn, day, evening, and night, infancy, adolescence, maturity, and old age govern the whole cosmos, and even the disincarnate are subjected to this law. In time, these fortunate beings have to return to the physical world. Everything that the disincarnate see is in their minds. The devakarnic state spoken of by the Theosophist and Rosicrucian books affirm this. The state of unconsciousness into which the disincarnate fall under electronic shock is very regrettable, because even when they enjoy the happiness of the molecular regions, they are not sufficiently conscious, as an adept of the White Lodge would be. Only those who have acquired soul live conscious of the superior regions of the universe. The ordinary disincarnate project their own desires and aspirations into the molecular atmosphere and dream of them, living in perfect happiness. Adepts do not dream, because they have awakened consciousness, and live in this region dedicated to work, in accordance with the great cosmic laws, in the laboratory of nature. This does not mean that the disincarnate do not enjoy the scenery of paradise. Naturally, they are infinitely happy in their surroundings of happiness. The Egyptian Book of the Dead and the Art of Dying, from the Middle Ages, teach preparation for death. Men dedicated solely to material things will not have the good fortune of experiencing the happiness of the electronic world, due to the state of unconsciousness into which they fall. When these people live in the molecular world, they spend their holidays dreaming. They drink from the fountain of forgetfulness and dream delightfully. The molecular body is a microscope and telescope at the same time. With this body we can see the infinitely small and the infinitely large. In paradise, the disincarnate participate in the intimate nature of everything created, penetrating the heart of all that exists. It is better to know things by penetration than by external perception. Life in paradise would be better if the disincarnate did not project his own desires into the molecular world. There each projects images of his own mind into the atmosphere. The electronic world. The electronic world is the solar world of light, the world of the spirit. Those who have spirit, those who possess an electronic body exercise power over the molecular, cellular, and mineral worlds. Those who possess an electronic body are in a position to help their disciples to create their own souls. Any true instructor teaches his disciples to create soul. Any man with soul is a true reformer. A man with soul can help his disciples, teaching them the theory of acquisition of their soul. But only a man who has an electronic body can work with the embryo souls, in the same way that a man with a cellular body can work with the Earth's minerals. Certain affirmations saying that human beings have soul and spirit have been exaggerated. In fact, within the human essence there exists a fraction of the causal being, but this fraction is only the prime material that life has given us to make soul. Whoever makes soul fuses himself with the great universal soul. Whoever makes spirit is united with the universal spirit of life. Because unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he will have abundance, and throw the useless servant into the outer darkness. There will be wailing, and the gnashing of teeth. Matthew 25, verses 29-30. The fate of the human essence, in the electronic world, after death is fleeting, because the human being is still not prepared for living continuously in this solar region. There are schools for the creation of soul, and there are also schools of sexual regeneration, for the creation of spirit. The Gnostic Rosicrucian school is a temple and school, at the same time. The Gnostic movement is closely united to the authentic and legitimate Rosicrucian school, which exists only in the superior worlds. Our universal Christian Gnostic movement teaches the real path of regeneration. Our school teaches the creation of soul and spirit. Our movement has the most complete esoteric school. Our movement is initiating the new Aquarian age, in the august thundering of thought. The electronic world is marvelous. In the molecular world, light and sound are diffused 100 times more rapidly than in the cellular world, but in the electronic world they travel instantaneously, not along a line, like in the cellular region, nor across an area like smell, but across a volume of space. And, being independent of atmosphere, they can travel to the sun in 7 minutes. In the electronic world we are light, and we live in all things. There, we experience the tremendous reality of unity of life. Electronic bodies move freely with the great light in divine space. The human consciousness dressed with an electronic body includes within itself the life and consciousness of all the beings of the universe. This is yoga, the union with God. All those who acquire spirit have to live the drama of the inner Christ, in their practical lives, their homes, in their towns, among their people. This is a cosmic drama that has existed since before the coming of Jesus. The essence of the drama, its principal event, is the death of the initiate and his supreme surrender to the Father. This happening takes place amidst lightning, thunder, and great earthquakes. The transfiguration of the principal person to the electronic world, the acquisition of spirit, is something magnificent and terribly divine. In these instants the electronic force is displaced, and the vertical fracture of all planes of cosmic consciousness opens the inner worlds to the ordinary perception of the man in the street for a moment. Then, all the marvelous things that the Gospels tell of when Jesus died on the cross take place. The earth trembles, graves open, the saints are resuscitated, and they all cry out, "Truly this is the Son of God."
Samael on Weor, The Book of the Dead.